What if your prom night wasn't about dancing with your crush, but being selected by men old enough to be your grandfather? That's exactly what happens in episode 5 of The Testaments on Hulu, and honestly, it might be the most unsettling episode yet. We're breaking down everything that happened in episode 5, titled Ball, the recap, the key moments, and what that ending actually means for Agnes, Daisy, and the future of Gilead. Let's get into it. If you're new here, The Testaments is the sequel series to The Handmaid's Tale, set about 5 years after the events of the original show's finale. It follows a new generation of young women growing up inside Gilead, including Agnes, a girl raised entirely within the system, and Daisy, a Pearl girl who secretly remembers life outside. Last episode left us with something deeply disturbing. Agnes was assaulted by her best friend Becca's father, Dr. Grove, her dentist, and she doesn't even fully understand what was done to her. Episode 5 picks up right where that left off. The episode opens with Agnes still processing what happened. She feels shame, but more importantly, she knows she can't tell a single soul, because that's what Gilead does. It trains girls from birth to bury their pain, smile through it, and keep moving. And move she does. Agnes puts on her green dress, green symbolizing fertility, readiness for marriage, and her guardian Paula gives her a pep talk about how to impress the commanders at the ball. Paula even gets a little nostalgic talking about her own prom dress. The kicker? Agnes has absolutely no frame of reference for what a real prom even is. That's Gilead stealing adolescence in real time. So the ball, let's talk about the ball. It's honestly well produced, beautiful costumes, elegant choreography, which makes what's underneath it even more disturbing. The evening unfolds in 3 rounds of dancing. Round 1, the girls dance together. Fine, almost fun. Round 2, the fathers join in. Agnes spots Dr. Grove dancing with Becka. Her abuser is right there, and she nearly freezes. But Gilead conditioning kicks in, and she holds it together. Round 3, this is where things get dark. The older, senior commanders enter the room, and the atmosphere shifts completely. These aren't the awkward young guys from round 2. These are the men the girls will actually be married to. Agnes is briefly dancing with an older commander when he's called away, and in steps Garth. Her heart absolutely soars. They share a brief waltz, make small talk. It's tender, it's hopeful, and then he's called away too. But that tiny moment is enough to carry her through the rest of the night. After the dancing, Agnes is pulled aside for a formal interview with a panel of commanders who want to assess her as a potential match. Presiding over the session is Commander Judd, a name worth remembering because he carries serious weight in Gilead. Behind him, a giant screen showing the faces of even more commanders watching remotely. Imagine the most dystopian Zoom call you've ever seen. Agnes starts to cry during the interview. Judd coaches her through it, and the whole time, she's thinking about one person, and it's not any commander in that room. While Agnes is getting through her night, Becka is having a much worse one. One of the older commanders deliberately gets her drunk, slipping alcohol into her drink, and she ends up stumbling through the corridors. Aunt Lydia catches wind of it and confronts Commander Judd about keeping the men in line. His response? Basically, isn't this what these girls are here for? Even Aunt Lydia is disturbed. Shunammite, who honestly I've been writing off as pure villain energy, actually steps up here. She spots Becka, keeps the aunts from noticing, and hands her off to Daisy to look after. Daisy quietly helps Becka recover, and there's a genuinely touching moment between them. One that also makes it very clear that Becca's feelings for Agnes run deeper than friendship. Daisy doesn't get a ton of screen time this episode. As a Pearl girl, she's mostly stuck in the hallway during the ball, but what she does matters. Early on, an older commander approaches her and gets handsy. Daisy does not stay quiet. She tells him off, causing a scene, and Garth steps in to defuse it. Afterward, Garth gives her her latest assignment from Mayday: get closer to Agnes. The theory is that Agnes through her connection to Commander Mackenzie's household, might unknowingly hold the key to uncovering what Mackenzie is doing with foreign contacts. Daisy pushes back and asks when she's getting out of Gilead. Garth's answer is cold and direct. Prove your worth first. Quick side note on Shunammite. She and Huldah had brewed some homemade herbal tea before the ball, trying to kickstart their period so they could join in the festivities. By the end of the episode, Huldah's period starts. She's in. Shunammite's still waiting. Left out again. And yet, she congratulates her friend. After episodes of painting her as the mean girl, the show finally gives Shunammite a little humanity. And it works. Okay, here's the moment everyone's talking about. Near the end of the episode, Commander Mackenzie casually congratulates Garth on his upcoming promotion. In a matter of weeks, Garth will be a full commander. Now, why does this matter so much? The entire reason Agnes and Garth could never be matched is rank. She is the daughter of a high-ranking household. He is a lower-level guardian. In Gilead's rigid social structure, that gap makes them incompatible for marriage. But if Garth becomes a commander, that gap closes. For the first time, Agnes allows herself to actually imagine a future with him. It's a small, quiet hope, but in Gilead, hope is dangerous. And hope tied to a man who is secretly working for Mayday, even more so. The episode also drops a line from Mackenzie about the war front. Things are intensifying, rebellion is being suppressed with greater force. Gilead is pushing back hard, which tells us the world outside these walls is not stable, and that pressure is going to reach Agnes and Daisy sooner or later. So to sum it all up, Episode 5 uses the backdrop of a debutante ball to expose just how sinister Gilead's control really is. It strips these girls of their youth, packages it as elegance, and calls it tradition. Agnes is holding herself together with one hand while quietly falling apart with the other. Garth's promotion gives her, and us, a rare reason to feel something like hope. But with Daisy being pushed to get closer to Agnes and Mayday's plans tightening, that hope might be short-lived. We are at the halfway point of Season 1, and things are only going to get more intense from here. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for weekly recaps every Wednesday, and drop in the comments. Do you think Agnes and Garth can actually end up together? Or is Gilead going to crush that too? I'll see you next week.